teams of the 80s, really. Had you put us in some of today's ballparks, obviously we would have hit a lot more home runs.
Ozzie, I'm going to shift from Tom and just ask you, how underrated of a defensive second baseman was Tom Hearn?
You know, it's not just Tom, it was that whole infield that I think that was underrated. One of the best and most professional players that I ever had a chance to play with. Certainly the best second baseman I've played with. That whole infield, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get us all together, because it's one of those infields that people don't talk about enough. We were so efficient at what we did, and as he said, we only hit 67 home runs as a team, but we did everything else so much more consistently than everybody else, and it's what allowed us to make it to the World Series. Not only make it to the World Series, but to win the World Series.
A swing and a miss, and that's the winner. That's the Cardinals. Of course, we're going to have this. It's so great to have you in town, and why don't we just go right to the video? Easily the best fielding shortstop in the history of the game, sitting next to the best fielding pitcher in the history of the game.
Well, I might put Greg Maddox above that, maybe my boyhood idol, Bobby Shantz. First of all, you know, they didn't have a lot of video of me in those days, so you had to look at the same picture a lot.
Right.
I did replacement surgery a couple weeks ago, and I just can't get on an airplane right now, so I'm just really disappointed that I can't be there.
Yeah, so it's a bad hip. I maybe throw that bike away that's sitting behind you right now.
Well, it's probably all those games on AstroTurf.
Okay. Thanks for digging the red shirt out of the closet for tonight. I've always wondered, do you dream at night of yourself as a Cardinal or as a Met?
With my dad in World War II in the Navy in Pearl Harbor, and played with Stan Musial, and we got into the Stan would leave us tickets at Candlestick Park back when Willie Mays was playing and Juan Marichal and McCovey, and got to go in the clubhouse. I was sold on the Cardinals as a 8-year-old in Little League, and I came up through the chain. And, you know, when you come up through the system and you play with all the guys, and it was a good farm system, and a lot of guys that I played with in the big league.
Baseball named after him, and the guy who put this team together. We're talking about the architect and the manager of the Cardinals through the 80s, the great Whitey Herzog.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. A lot of them are these guys sitting up here. But it was really something. You know, we won by three and a half games in the split season, and the Phillies beat us by a half in the first half, and Montreal beat us by a half in the second game. And so they split the seasons, and we didn't get in. During that winter, I was able to go to San Diego after agreeing and talking to Dick Williams and Jack McKeon and get Ozzie to come to St. Louis. And Ozzie was the glue to the puzzle. Well, the reason I wanted to come to St. Louis is because I got my rear end fired at Kansas City. And I was out in Garden City, Kansas, at a golf tournament for fundraiser for Kansas State University in May, and the phone rang, and John Claiborne, the general manager, called me, and I had been up work with him at the New York Mets, but he was a photo guy, the movie guy. When I came back to the table, I didn't realize, but Kenny Boyer was a personal friend of mine, and I wasn't following baseball that much. I was having a good time fishing and golfing and so forth. I came back to the table, and I said to Mary Lou, I said, I'm going to be managing the Cardinals by June. And she said, well, yeah. I said, I can tell that I'm going to be managing in St. Louis by June.
abide by those rules, then you probably.
Thank you for all one. Thank you so much.